Tang! What is it? Tang is a powdered instant breakfast drink. Invented by scientist William A. Mitchell in 1957, it's been on our supermarket shelves since 1959. You may know Mitchell by some of his other inventions, including Cool Whip, Jell-O, powdered egg whites, and Pop Rocks. So this Mitchell guy made some pretty tasty stuff, but what makes Tang so special? Well, my friends, Tang is awesome because it's a space drink. From space, kinda. Now sadly, Tang is not powder from space oranges imported from the moon, but it was one of the first few items ever eaten in space. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration says that in 1962, when astronaut John Glenn performed eating experiments in orbit, Tang was on the menu. Because it was a powder that was added to water, it had a much lighter weight than any other juice. Before 1962, Tang was just a drink, but after a real-life astronaut drank it in space, the public instantly became aware of this amazing space drink. Take a look at this ad from 1966.
The Gemini space flights. The trips are long. The training is hard, like this spacewalk practice. But the astronauts do some things you do. In space, they drank Tang. They mixed it like this in a zero-G pouch, because with no gravity, it would fly all over. You don't have that problem. You can mix it in a glass. Up there, they have to drink it carefully, this way. You can drink it any way you like. Tang tastes orangey. Tastes great. Has lots of vitamins C and A. Tang, chosen for the Gemini astronauts. Have a blast. Have some Tang.
After seeing how much those kids loved their Tang, I decided I should try it out for myself. But first, I would need to find myself some original 1959 Tang. After some hard research and a long journey, I wasn't able to find any Tang.
Did we get the Tang?
We didn't get the Tang, no.
That was until an anonymous tip told me there was a secret cache located right on the beach. After what seemed like hours of searching, I collapsed right in front of the exact location of the hidden Tang. Now that I had gotten my hands on some original 1959 Tang, it was time to drink some space juice and become an astronaut.
You don't have that problem.
Honestly, it tasted better than I had expected, but it still wasn't anything too amazing. Turns out Tang wasn't anything different than any other sugary juice. Even Buzz Aldrin, the second man to walk the moon, said word for word, "Tang sucks." This brings us to an interesting point. How did such a mediocre drink become so famous in the first place? The answer is all because of marketing. Imagine this. You're a kid of a nuclear family in the 1960s, and you see an ad for a space drink for astronauts. The ad tells you that if you drink Tang too, then you'll be one step closer to being an astronaut. As a kid, I would have done anything to drink what astronauts drank, and I would have begged my parents to buy space food. But this was no one-sided commercial aimed solely at easily influenced children. No, it appealed right to the moms at home. I mean, look at this. More vitamin C than orange juice. 50% of children don't get their recommended allowance of vitamin C. I mean, moms over here thinking that their kids are going to die of vitamin C deficiency if they don't get their space orange juice. All this genius marketing sold America on how great Tang was. But even though Tang wasn't actually all that great, it made a lasting influence on food in America. Has anyone ever had that freeze-dried ice cream? I like to think of this as the modern-day Tang. I don't actually know if the stuff is any good, because the bag my grandma got for me 10 years ago is still sitting in my drawer to this day. At first I was really excited to have space food, but I slowly realized that having dry, solid, room temperature ice cream really doesn't sound that good. Even though this company is just selling sad ice cream, they're still somehow in business today. The secret is that we still regard astronauts as heroes, and this company advertises right to that. The package boldly says astronaut right on the front, and has a man in a spacesuit right in the cover. That doesn't scream space food, then I don't know what does. Because it's gimmicky, they still manage to make sales and not close. Tang is no longer used in space today, but it's still sold in grocery stores. Perhaps even freeze-dried ice cream will stay in stores even after it's off NASA's menu. On the subject of ice cream, who likes Dippin' Dots? Dippin' Dots is another gimmicky science food. Its slogan is literally, the ice cream of the future. From the Dippin' Dots website, Dippin' Dots started in 1988 when the microbiologist Kurt Jones used flash freezing technology to freeze ice cream droplets. Dippin' Dots can only be found at some vendors at events because of the way that they must be stored. Because they are flash frozen, they need to be stored at negative 40 degrees Celsius. This method of freezing them also increased the cost significantly. Honestly, I really enjoy Dippin' Dots, but now that I look back at it, I'm paying more money for ice cream that's so cold you can't even taste it. I guess that whole marketing thing really does work. The final lasting effect from Tang is the popularity of powdered drinks. Tang was not the first powdered drink to ever be made, but its success showed companies that powdered drinks do work. Just to name a few other powdered drinks, we have Kool-Aid, Gatorade, Crystal Light, Nesquik, Country Time Lemonade, Welch's, and Ocean Spray. These are all popular for the same reasons that Tang was popular for astronauts. The powder was easy to transport long distances, and it only required water to become a new flavored drink. Many of these companies are doing very well. Gatorade is ranked number 86 on the Forbes Most Powerful Brands, and Kraft, which owns Tang and Kool-Aid, is ranked number 62. Tang was not the first of many things. However, it paved the way for a marketing strategy, playing off of America's love for science and progress. Tang did incredibly well as a company, and other companies used similar methods to achieve similar successes. Dippin' Dots claimed to be the ice cream of the future with its gimmicky freezing method. The success of Tang also showed powdered drink companies that powdered drinks can be successful. Without Tang, many goofy science foods may have never been so successful, and powdered drinks may not have been popular enough to be successful. Now get out there and have yourself a glass of cool, refreshing Tang.